is no need to fear. Underdog is here.
Time again for the Underdog Show, starring that champion of champions, Underdog.
When criminals in this world appear and bring the laws that they should fear and frighten all who see or hear, the cry goes up both far and near for Underdog. 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 Speed of lightning, roar of thunder, fighting all who love or plunder. Underdog.
King Leonardo was truly having his share of problems. First, True Blue Odie Coloni had been suddenly called away to take care of a sick aunt. Left alone, King Leonardo began having problems almost at once. The palace laundry began piling up.
Help, guards, help!
In the kitchen, the royal dishes went unwashed.
Confound it, can't even find a clean cup. I'll just get one from here and wash it myself. Help, guards, help!
With Odie gone, dust went undusted in the throne room.
This is terrible. I must clean up this place. Just get the royal vacuum. Plug it in. Help, guards, help!
Yes, the palace had never looked worse. And neither had the king. It was at exactly this moment, wouldn't you know it, that the king's minister of publicity entered with a startling piece of news.
I've done it, Your Majesty. I've truly done it.
Done what, confound it?
Put Bongo Congo on television, Your Majesty. Network television in the U.S. of A.
What? But how? What kind of a show will it be?
A tour, sire. There was a tour of the White House, a tour of Monaco, and now...
Yes.
And now...
Yes!
Now it's a tour of the Bongo Congo Palace.
Bravo! Oh, why, that's the most unimaginable thing ever imagined. No, but the palace, it's in terrible shape. What can we do?
Have no fear, Your Majesty. I will personally see that the right people are hired to clean it from top to bottom. But now we must get to work rehearsing the TV tour.
All right, move that equipment
Move those
over
cabins
there.
right in here, put the lights
Take the
over
wire
there.
and throw it in.
Confound it, who are these?
You pull my cable there, buddy. Watch it.
Now see here, who are all these people?
They're from the network, Your Majesty. And here is the producer and narrator of the show, Charles Hollywood.
No profile at all. In fact, not much of a face. Won't photograph well at all. Of course, it won't be so bad with the other members of the family around. We'll keep them on camera. Where are your children?
Children? I have no children.
Oh, bad. Very bad. Where's your wife?
I have no wife. Confound it.
Oh, terrible. Just terrible. Well, surely your Majesty must have an art gallery.
Art, you say? Oh, well, my collection is the pride of Bongo Congo. Oh, step this way. Now, this is Aristotle contemplating the bust of Leonardo the First.
I've seen only one other like it.
Yes, and this is the famous Mona Linetta posed by my great-grandmother.
Striking resemblance.
And this? Confound it, what have they done?
Why, it's the king's twin nephews, Duke and Earl.
Splendid, and twins at that. We must have them on the show.
Oh, no. No, those two are monsters. The most unmanageable brats ever managed.
Please, don't say that. You'll ruin your image. Just refer to the children as little darlings.
All right, but these little darlings are brats.
But Charles Hollywood insisted on the nephews, and the king finally gave in. Will the king's nephews, Duke and Earl, really be as bad as the king expects? And who are those two familiar figures being hired to clean up the palace? And with all this, can the King's TV tour possibly be a success? We'll find out in our next episode, A Tour de Passe.
This is terrible. Tiger, these quarters are too small to live in.
That's right, all right. Too bad we don't have a nice place to live in like Tennessee Tuxedo and his pal Chumley.
Maybe you've got an idea, Tiger. Maybe we can get Tennessee and Chumley to give us their quarters.
But how you gonna do that, Jerboa?
Listen.
Uh-oh. What kind of trouble are you selling today, Jerboa?
Trouble? I just wanted to drop by and see if it was true what everybody was saying about your quarters.
What is it they're saying? What's that noise?
Well, if yous must know, this place has got termites. The whole floor is starting to give way. Don't run for it, yous guys.
Now, Jerboa, I really drilled those holes, didn't I? The whole floor gave way when I got through.
You nincompoop, they haven't left yet.
And we aren't leaving, but you are. Get him, Chumley.
You think Jerboa and Tiger will try again to get our quarters, Tennessee?
Halt in the name of space. Greetings, Earth things. I am a man from another planet. Take me to your leader.
Gee.
I said, take me to your leader.
Uh-huh. I'm the leader here in the zoo. Are you really from another planet?
Of course I am. Watch my mighty power. I'll just point my fist at you, speak my magic word, and you fall to the ground. I say, Socko.
Gee, Tennessee, he did it.
Now, you all do as I say, or I'll use my disintegrating gun and make y'all disappear.
No, we'll do what you say. You can count on us.
I'm real tired out. It took me 2 hours to get here from my planet. Take me to some nice quarters.
Sure, Mr. Spaceman, sure.
Gee, Tennessee, you gonna let him use our quarters?
Don't be ridiculous, Chumley. A spaceman should live in space, the great outdoors. Here you are, Mr. Spaceman. A nice, smooth piece of grass in the wide open spaces.
I said I want some rest. I want nice big quarters with a nice big bed.
Hi, Tennessee, what's going on? Jumping Jiminy, what's that?
Watch out what you say, Jerboa. This is a man from another planet, and he could just point his fist at you and say, Socko, and boom, you get down like a sack of potatoes.
I've told these two that I need large, comfortable quarters. Now I'm telling you.
Sure. What about right here?
Now, wait a minute, Jerboa. Those are our quarters.
Quiet. I like these quarters. You can be my assistant while I stay here in the zoo. You two go out and wait for my next command.
Gee, Tennessee, we don't have any place to live.
We can't argue with a man from another planet.
Hey, you guys. The spaceman says to go out and get a couple of quarts of ice cream, a couple of bottles of soda pop, a couple of things.
And so it began. During the days, they were forced to do one job after another for the spaceman and his assistant Jerboa Jump. And at night, the only place they had to sleep was a tall tree.
That does it. Chumley, wake up.
Yes, Mr. Spaceman. Whatever you say, Gee, Tennessee, what happened?
Never mind. We're sneaking out of here to see Mr. Whoopi. Maybe he can help us.
Well, boys, so you want to know something about the other planets around our sun, eh? Well, that's a very bright subject. Well, let's take a look at our three-dimensional blackboard. This is our sun, and this is the Earth we live on. Now, there are 8 other known planets revolving around our sun.
8 other planets. Get that down, Chumley.
2 of those planets are closer to the sun than Earth, and 6 of the planets are farther from the sun than Earth.
Are they all the same size, Mr. Whoopi?
Oh, no! Some are much bigger than our Earth, like Jupiter and Saturn, and some are smaller than Earth, like Mercury and Pluto. All of them revolve around the sun, but some move slower than others, and some have bigger paths or orbits. The length of time it takes a planet to go around the sun is what we call a year.
I get it. It takes the Earth 365 days to go around the sun.
That's right. But it takes Pluto 248 of our years to go around the sun, while it takes Mercury only 88 days. And the other planets require varying amounts.
Very interesting, Mr. Whoopi. But what we'd really like to know is which one of these planets is most likely to have people on it.
Oh, well, let's see now. Mercury always keeps its same side toward the sun as it travels around, so one side is too hot for our kind of life, and the other side is too cold.
What about Venus?
Well, Venus is always covered with clouds, so no one is sure whether Venus always keeps the same side toward the sun or not. Still, scientists feel sure that there is no life like ours on Venus.
What about Mars?
I'm afraid not, my boy. There's not enough oxygen or water for our kind of life on Mars.
Jupiter?
No again. The atmosphere on this giant planet would suffocate us. Besides, Jupiter and all those planets beyond are much too cold to support life as we know it.
But that means there's no one on any of these planets. And we've got a man from another planet in the zoo.
Yeah, it took him 2 hours to get here.
2 hours? Oh, yeah. Well, there's no planet in the universe from which anyone could travel to Earth in 2 hours. Your spaceman is a fake.
A fake?
A fake!
Hey, there you all are. I thought I told you not to go running off. Now I'm gonna have to teach you a lesson.
Is that so, Spaceman? Are you going to give us your Sacco treatment again?
That's right, all right. Watch this. I say Sacco.
And we do this.
No!
Now, Chumley, let's take a look at our spaceman.
Gee, Tennessee, it was Tiger Tornado all the time.
Just another plot to take over our quarters. Now, you two are going to pay for what you did. All right, men, just set us down right here. Now, Tiger, you hop over to the stand and get us a couple of ice creams. Jerboa, you rush back to my quarters and clean the place up.
Okay, Tennessee, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Gee, Tennessee, it sure is lucky we went to Mr. Whoopi and learned about the planets.
Of course. Education, Chumley, is what keeps people from getting tripped up.
The Fox, public enemy #1, had committed many shocking crimes, but none so terrible as the theft he perpetrated in the city of Philadelphia, in broad daylight, under the noses of hundreds of people. In Independence Hall, a number of people were observing the historic Liberty Bell.
In 1776, this bell was rung to call the people together to hear the Declaration of Independence. The bell is made of bronze, and it weighs 3 tons.
And just then a voice in the crowd cried,
Hey, look over there!
Of course, everybody looked, but they didn't see anything, and when they looked back,
The bell's gone! Vanished!
Call the army.
Call the police! Call the army! Congress! Marines!
while the attention of the crowd had been diverted, the Fox, who else would have the nerve, had stolen the Liberty Bell. Naturally, everybody was up in arms, and everybody started looking at once. The Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and even Congress looked, but no one found so much as a clapper. There was no trace of the celebrated bell. Then Officer Flynn Flanagan called the Hunter.
Hunter, do you know what he's done now?
Who? I say who he. I mean he who. Me.
Yeah. Come, son, speak up. Don't get flustered. Who? Why, the Fox, of course. And he's stolen the Liberty Bell.
The Liberty Bell, son. This time he's gone too far.
Then you'll take the case?
What red-blooded American could refuse? I'll start just as soon as I put on my hat.
The Hunter left no stone unturned, no bell unrung. Although, as usual, he had his troubles. There was his investigation of ship's bells.
Avast, belay! Hand over that bell, you swab. You're under arrest. Throw that loony landlubber off my ship!
Aye, sir.
The patriotic Hunter's search for the missing bell took him to a famous bell tower.
My card, son. Have nose, will hunt. Right now, I'm hunting a missing bell. I'd like to nosy around your tower. I'll just climb to the top and have a look-see.
But it's time to ring the bells.
Now, those are mighty big bells.
Meanwhile, all across the country, the land was being flooded with counterfeit Liberty bells. The wily, clever Fox was selling counterfeit bells to patriotic citizens who were taking them to Philadelphia, certain that they were returning the stolen Liberty Bell. The Fox was ringing up a nice piece of change until he made a mistake and tried to sell one to the Hunter.
Aha! A patriot, I see. I know you want to do the patriotic thing for your country, patriot, and I just happen to have here the genuine Liberty Bell, which I'm sure you'll want to return to its rightful owners. Feast your patriotic peepers on this, and it's yours for only $100.
What in the cotton-blooming world are you trying to pull, son? That bell's got a crack in it. American people wouldn't stand for a cracked Liberty Bell. Not unless they had bats in their belfry. Yeah, that's a joke, son. But what you're doing is no joke, and I'm putting you under arrest.
Oh, no, you don't.
Granny's the Fox. Now, you wily, clever criminal, where's the real Liberty Bell?
In there.
Look at all them bells.
Hunter, you've done it again. The Fox and the bells. How are we going to tell which is the real Liberty Bell?
Simple, son. Observe. This is it. Liberty always rings true, son.
Hunter, how can we ever repay you?
Well, you can't, son. Liberty has no price.
And so the Fox lost his liberty, and the great bell was returned to Independence Hall, where you can see it anytime you want, because it's your bell.
And that's no joke, son.
In our last episode, Ode Colonia was away from the palace and King Leonardo was having trouble. And just at this time, the Minister of Publicity had arranged for an important television tour of the Bongo Congo Palace.
All right, move that equipment on over there.
Right in here, put the lights
take the
over
wire
there.
and throw it in.
The producer and narrator of the show, Charles Hollywood, insisted that children be included to add a touch of warmth. And so it was decided to use the king's nephews, Duke and Earl.
Oh, no, those two are monsters.
Meanwhile, two familiar figures had been hired to clean up the palace.
We'll clean up, all right. While everybody's busy with this TV tour, we'll be stealing the royal gold. What a sap Kingsley will look like when the TV audience sees that.
While Biggie and Itchy hurried to the gold room, the king's nephews had arrived in the game room.
Oh, dear, Your Majesty, this is no time for games. Your program is ready to start. You wait in the game room, Earl.
I'm Duke. That's Earl, folks.
And now, to take us on a tour of the Bongo Congo Palace, here is our host, King Leonardo.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Hollywood.
Where are we now, Your Majesty?
In the palace.
But where in the palace?
No, this is the art gallery. And directly beneath us are my nephews in the...
And these must be your darling nephews.
Yes, these are my darling nephews. This is Earl.
I'm Duke. That's Earl, folks.
I'm certain you children must enjoy playing with your Uncle King.
Sure, we play horsey like this. Ow! Ow! Ride him, cowboy! Yippee!
While the TV tour continued, Biggie and Itchy were hard at work.
We almost got the safe open, Edge. When that TV tour reaches this room and finds the gold gone, Kingsy will look more like a monkey's uncle.
But King Leonardo, unaware of his foul play, continued the tour.
Now, you youngsters run along and play. We'll see you later.
And what room is in there, Your Majesty?
The blue room.
I see. Has it always been the blue room?
No, but last year a bad storm blew off the roof.
And when it blew off the roof, you called it the blue room.
Yes, and we decided to keep it just as it is.
And I see this room is named the Orange Room. I suppose that's where you keep your oranges.
Yes. These oranges were a gift from the governors of Florida and California.
The tour continued until finally they stood before the Gold Room, totally unaware of what awaited them inside.
And this is our Royal Gold Room. Confound it, what's going on in here?
Ooh, we captured these crooks. They're trying to steal your gold.
Well, bust my bongos if you didn't. You two boys are really chips off the old family block.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just witnessed a real first on TV tours.
But, Mr. Hollywood, what about my paintings?
We don't have time. A real first, the actual capture of two real live desperados caught gold-handed by these...
But you haven't seen the chandeliers in the rock candy crystal room.
Take them away, boys. Captured by these two outstanding nephews.
Put me down, confound it! Put me down!
The king's nephews who came to the rescue. Yes, for Duke and Earl had not only saved the royal treasury, but saved the king's TV tour as well. But what new evil did Biggie plot? Don't miss the next adventure of the King and Odie.
Oh, 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 oh.